Hi guys, Queen of Flannel here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I am bringing you my October haul video. So I I may have gotten a little carried away with paint, with watercolor paint and watercolor paint supplies this month. Um that is actually the majority of what this month's supplies have been. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through just these couple real quick, um since they are what is sitting front and center on my desk. Um I'm not gonna demo or swatch anything today, but if there is anything that you would like to see me do a future video with, swatch, talk more in depth about, let me know in the comments and I will do my best to put something together. So let's get started. So this is just first little thing here is just a Paul Rubens cold press watercolor sketchbook. I got this off of Amazon, and it's really just, I've just been playing around. I've been watching, some watercolor tutorial videos, and I thought this was really good for just messing around because, I didn't want to jump right to watercoloring on my, the Arches watercolor paper because that was pretty expensive. So this is really good for, I was just messing around and I was watching tutorial videos and practicing brush strokes and things like that. So just a nice little like pocket field sketch booklet. And you could even, if you wanted to swatch in this book, the pages tear out. So this would actually be a nice size if you wanted to use this, for like color charts and things like that for your watercolors. Paul Rubens sketchbook. I'll link to some of these supplies in the description, but some of them, which I'll talk about in a minute, I have actually gotten from eBay. But the ones I got from Amazon, I will drop in the description box. So, all right, so got a sketchbook. We'll do this one in a minute. So next we've just got some watercolor paper. I wanted to try both hot and cold press and see which I like better. Since I am, just beginning my watercolor journey. So this is a 10 by 14 inch cold press watercolor, 12 sheets, not cheap, and I think this one came from Michaels. So sometimes my Michaels has the Arches in stock, but you kind of have to dig through all of the other brands to find them. I think this was like the only one they had left. And then this one, Arches hot press, 12 sheets. I got this, I want to say, for 15-16 bucks on Amazon. My hope with this one is it doesn't feel too much thicker than like my cardstock. I was hoping to cut this down to fit into my printer and see if I could print off some of my PDFs on it. But again, I don't want to waste it. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, so some watercolor paper. So sorry about that, I leaned away from the mic. So the next one, this one's gonna take a bit because these all kind of go together. So let me rearrange this. All right. So this is a 28 count plastic watercolor pan. And I set it up with some of my watercolor tubes. It is actually drying and curing. So I set this up last night. It's actually, I could probably use this today, but I think I might wait and let it kind of, you know, continue doing its thing. I have not swatched this yet. I did mark down on a separate piece of paper what colors were in what spot, so that when I swatch them, I'll be able to transfer that. But I'm looking forward to using these. And all of the colors that are in this little pan are in the containers over here, which I'll show you guys in just a second. This came from Amazon. I actually got a 2-pack of these for like $15, and the other one will go to my niece. I got her some like Michael's brand watercolors and a watercolor book and some paper as a Christmas gift, so I'm just gonna give her the other pan as part of that. But yeah, so maybe I'll do a swatching video on this. And if you've never played with tube watercolors before, I can't tell you how satisfying it was just squeezing the tubes into the pan. So we've got that. And these are half pan, 48 count half pan tins. So I really didn't need 3 of these. I probably could have just bought one and been fine with it. I don't know what possessed me to buy 3 of them. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think I got a little carried away. And that was kind of before I started, you know, like buying the tubes of paint. And I mean, realistically, let's see if, so, alright, I'll open this one up. Because I was playing around with some of the tube paints in this pan, some of the greens. And I know that realistically, this is what these are for. You can fill these with the tube paints and let them cure. And it ended up being a lot messier and more difficult to set up than I thought it was going to be when I bought all of these tins. So these might be something that kind of chills off to the side for a little bit, or a couple of them. One of them I'll show you what I did with here in a second, but these come with the 48 little half pans in here. They snap in and out. So if you have other half pan watercolors that you've bought and you want to pop them in here, you can just pull these out and put your own half pans in here if you prefer to work out of you know, with pan watercolors. These were, gosh, I keep saying everything I've bought is like 15 or 16 bucks, but realistically I think that's about how much these were. I also got these on Amazon. Again, I'll link to them below. So I got 3 of them. One of them is completely untouched and also stuck in here. This is the one that hasn't been used. So this one, I did a live while I set this one up. So this was kind of the goal of this. So I have like 5 sets of the Prima watercolor, the confections, and sorry, just taking a sip of my coffee there. And they all come in their own little like individual mini tins, and I think it's like 12 per mini tin. I can't remember, but either way, they all come in their own little mini tin. So I had 5 of these tins, And that was a bit cumbersome to pack into a bag to travel with. And I am trying to plan out what I want to take and what I can consolidate into, into sets and things like that. When I go on drill weekends, and I have something planned where I will be like out away from home for an extended period of time next year, and obviously I'm going to be taking some of my art supplies um with me. So what I ended up doing was taking all of my Prima sets and just combining them into this 148 tin pan, and in one of the smaller ones, because I had some of the blues and um some of my neutrals and a couple of the decadent pies that have the pearlescent or luminescent stuff in them, are in one of the smaller tins. But like this ended up being a real like go-to set. I have everything in this pan that I could ever need to do a picture and be able to mix colors. So I ended up re-swatching this. Um, I found this little watercolor sheet online. I cannot remember off the top of my head where I got it from, but I'll find the link to it and I'll pop it below. And I just cut it out, and it fits perfectly like right inside the tin. I'm not too worried with this set about the color names or anything like that. As long as I can see what they look like, that's that's all I need for this one. So that's those 3 tins. So let's talk about what I've got going on here. Some of these were in my mini haul video from last month, but they're all mixed in. I think it's some of my Cotman watercolor tubes that I had gotten in a set off of eBay are all mixed in. But there have been some new additions, and I've kind of got these divided up by like color family. So I've got my reds, my yellows, my purples, and my pinks, my browns, my neutrals in a random geranium lake that should be over here, and my blues and my greens. This is a mixture of the Windsor and Newton, the Cotman watercolors, which is the student grade watercolors. Absolutely nothing wrong with these paints. I love them. I think for coloring books they're great, and they are definitely cheaper than the professional line. But I was perusing through eBay and I found a couple sellers, one in particular who was selling bundles of Daniel Smith extra fine watercolors. And I went through and I priced out some of those individual tubes that they had in this bundled listing, and it would have cost me about twice what they were selling them for. So it was, because the majority of these greens, and I paid like $50 for this set. They were brand new, great condition. Obviously they've been squeezed and are covered in paint because I have put some of them in my pan. But yeah, $50 for these tubes, and some of these are $12 to $15 for a single tube. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll give it a try. And I really like these paints from what I have played played with some of them so far. Um that like enough that I ordered a couple more sets from that same seller of some of the different I think one of them is a set of like translucent golds. But yeah, so I've got some of the Daniel Smith watercolors in here. There's also some of the Grumbacher Academy watercolors that I got at Michael's. And then some of these are Daniel Smith that I ordered from Blick because they had a good sale on them and I was trying to fill in some color gaps. So these all came from either eBay or Michael's. I looked at my JoAnne's and all of their watercolor paints, even the student the Cotman brand, the student grade watercolors are locked in, they're locked up. So you have to ask to, to be able to get into the case, and I didn't want to deal with that. So I will either order my watercolors online or I will get them from Michael's, but yeah, so some of these have been swatched. A lot of them have been not been swatched, so I do it as I'm, planning projects out. But yeah, so a lot of these have been picked up like 2Z, 3Zs here or there over the past, the past month, except for the Daniel Smiths. And the little containers that I have them in are from Michael's, and they were $1. And for now, they serve my purpose. Take up minimal space on my desk. And yeah, I'm trying not to go overboard with the watercolors because just from like everything that I have, have watched from, people that watercolor professionally, is that you don't need a whole bunch of colors. Everybody kind of has their, their go-tos, and that's what they stick to. And realistically, if you can do everything that you need to do with a limited color palette and mix what you need, but sometimes there's the temptation of the tubes, of buying them. Like, I'm a completist, so now part of me wants to collect the Daniel Smith watercolors, but I'm also a realist, and that's a lot of money, and it would take a lot of time because there's like 260 colors across his lines. So, I'm gonna try and just stick with what I have already purchased for my watercolors and find out what I like, what colors I end up using frequently, and let that just be it. So that's the watercolors. And since we're still on paint and painting supplies, let's talk about brushes. So I picked up, and as you can see, I've already used these. I picked up a set of the Princeton Snap brushes. And hold on, I just want to see if what's in this set before I... Okay, so the set is the round 0, the round 2, and the round 6, and then the angled shader brush. So these came in this set of 4, and then the 12 and the 20 were single. I got these all on Amazon. I have started using them in one of my books on a project I'm working on, and I'm honestly not sure how I feel about these brushes. Like, it's not that they're bad quality by any means. It might just be that for what I'm doing, they're not the best brushes for. I'm not sure. And I can't really pinpoint what it is about them that that I haven't quite found a love for yet. I think some of it might be that I was anticipating them holding a finer point for longer, and this one, this is the number 2. The first couple times I used it, the bristles are already starting to kind of like fray out. I actually had to trim the top of this one off. And I was very careful not to leave it sitting in my water cup overnight, making sure that I was careful when I dried it and not smashing it on the bottom of the cup. This was almost like straight out of the package that I was kind of like, huh, okay, well, I was anticipating it not fraying like the first couple times I used it. So I'm not sure what to think about that. And I do like this brush in my actual, like, my watercolor sketchbook. I'm not a fan of it in the coloring books, and that's probably just because of the paper in the coloring books, and this brush, being a larger brush, holds a lot of water. So, maintaining that control and making sure that it's not super saturated and overwetting my paper might be the issue that I'm having there. So these might get relegated to doing actual, like, watercolor work on actual watercolor paper. We'll have to see. They are the Princeton Snap brushes, and again, I got these on Amazon. So these are 2 different sets of I think one of them is a mixed media set. One of them specifically said watercolor on it. I think it's I took them out of the packages. Some of them I haven't even used. But these I actually find myself going to pretty frequently. I think it's, and there might be a couple more of these in my tin that I forgot to grab because I kind of like intermixed my stuff. I used these when I did the Witchy's House speed paint video. I liked how they held together. So I'm not sure. These are, I believe it's JoAnne's, like a JoAnne brand. They're Artsmith, and they're in various sizes, a couple of flat brushes. I prefer the round brushes myself. These end up, like I said, kind of being my go-to. And then this one came from Michael's. This is just a mop brush. Princeton Velvet Touch mop brush. And these came from Amazon. And I have not used these yet. I opened up the case, obviously. And I was taking a look at this one. This is the number 12. This is Fumui. These are sable hair brushes. I can't really give an opinion on how I feel they perform, because I haven't used them yet. but I did snag them just to try them out, see if I liked these in comparison to the Taklon brushes, which is what the Artsmith brushes are. So these also came from Amazon. I feel like this is probably an off brand. But yeah, so that's it for the brushes. So next, we are moving away from paint. Let's talk about Tim Holtz. These are the new limited edition pearlescent mica holiday distress crayons. So I got these the day that they were announced. I was actually still in Tim's live stream when he showed these off. Apparently, they were supposed to debut with the Halloween and Christmas releases, but there was a delay, a COVID-related delay, I believe, in the manufacturing, so they held off on releasing these until they were actually like ready to go. From what I gather, there are 2 Halloween sets and 2 Christmas themed sets, and these are one and done. So once supplies are gone, that's it. And they will more than likely not be released again. I believe he said if he does this again next year, it would be with different colors. And these colors are not in the current distress line. So it's not like, oh, this is one of the other yellows and they just added mica to it. These are completely new colors designed just for this application. I have swatched these, but if you would like to see me do a project with these, maybe a background, something like that, let me know and I will put something together. These will not be, I put these back in these cases. I don't store my distress crayons in the little cases. I actually end up just chucking these. But this first Halloween set, I'll just tell you guys what the color names for these are. Empty Tomb, Flickering Candle, and Jack-o'-lantern is the first Halloween set. The second Halloween set is Bubbling Cauldron, Crooked Broomstick, and Hocus Pocus. I know it's kind of hard to see with my lighting, but now getting into the Christmas / holiday, winter holiday themed sets. This first one is Winterberry, Snow Flurries, and this is actually this one actually is a very, very, very light blue. So this would probably be good to put over top of like trees or mountain backgrounds, give it like a nice like snowy look. In this last one in this set is Holly Branch. This set is Tree Lot, Peppermint Stick, and Frosted Juniper. I should have pulled my my swatch card out for these so I could at least give you guys an idea of what they look like on paper, but I don't know where my swatch book is at the moment. My bad. But they are they're glittery. I think there was only one in here that I was kind of like, huh, where's the shimmer on that one? I can't remember what color it is. But they're pretty shiny. So we may have to find something. We may have to find a project for these because I don't use my distress crayons enough. And I've heard a couple other people in the community say that they wish there were more videos with people using them as backgrounds. So maybe I should get on that. All right, and I haven't even taken this out of the plastic. This just showed up yesterday. This is Tim Holtz's newest Distress ink color, Villainous Potion. I mean, I haven't even taken it out of the plastic. It showed up last night, so haven't swatched it yet. I've seen other people swatch it. It is a very, very vibrant purple. And apparently it is completely coincidental that it was with the name being Villainous Potion and it being released in October. Again, I think there was a delay on announcing this, so completely coincidental. But if you like purple, and I didn't get the big bundle. I find that I use my distress inks more than any of my other stuff from Tim Holtz, so I just went with the distress ink pad. So we got that. Let's see what else we got. Since we're talking about ink, we'll do these next. And then I will finish up with, I think there's like one more thing after the inks. So, Catherine Pooler ink pads. I pulled the plastic off of these, but I have not touched these. I have not swatched these. These are the minis, two of the Spa Collection set. Paradise Found in Urban Oasis. Sorry about the lighting on that, you guys. But yeah, I went with the minis on these because, again, I'm looking at things that are easy for me to, pop into a bag or into my suitcase when I travel. It didn't look like the entire line was in the minis, which is probably a good thing because I probably would have bought them all. These are water soluble, so you can use them like you can with the distress ink, and watercolor paint with them like watercolors, which was primarily why I got them. I thought that they would fill in some color gaps with my distress inks, which honestly I need to pull back out and use more. So I got these, and she also sent me, as a thank you for your first order, free stamp set. I thought it was super cool. There was a handwritten note from the person who packed my order that said thank you for your first purchase, and then there was a little card inside the box that said, welcome to the Catherine Pooler community or whatnot, and had some tips on how to use the inks, and a thank you for my first purchase. And it came packed like super cute. I wish that I had unboxed it on camera for you guys, and then I was like, man, should I just keep the box? But I was trying to clean stuff up in my office, but it was nice, nicely packaged with tissue paper, and had a cute little like Mariska doll sticker on it, and then all of the notes and the free stamp set. So super cool. I love the extra touch. Definitely gave me the pickle on this order. If you're not familiar what that means. It's a customer service thing. But yeah, definitely we'll be picking up some more stuff from Catherine down the road, but I'm honestly at this point, I'm like all over the map. I've got watercolors and inks, and I'm still trying to build up my my luminance pencils, which I held off on this month because I fell on the or I climbed aboard the watercolor paint train. So that was kind of where my head was at this month. But yeah, I definitely need to like reel it in a little bit. So, and then the last thing I got was just two more sets of these blenders. Apparently they're not going to be selling them in this format anymore. I think on the website it was one of the full blenders and a blending pencil. So I figured I'm just gonna try and stock up on the full blender. I actually have a couple more of these coming because out of all of the blenders that I have tried, these are my favorite, and I bought them when people were saying they were discontinuing them. Figured, all right, I'll give them a try, and I had kind of hoped that I didn't like them, and unfortunately, that was not the case. I was like, oh, this is... So I started stocking up on these. But I think that is it for my October haul. I've got a lot of stuff here to play with, a lot of things that we could come up with some projects for. So if there is anything, let me just pull these crayons back over here so we can look and see what we've got. If there's anything that you have seen in this video that you want more information on, want to see me use, swatch, etc., please let me know in the comments, and I will work on putting things together. I tried to keep this detailed but also succinct because I didn't want it to be like a 3-hour long haul video. So yeah, we didn't really demo or anything like that today. But I will leave links to as much of what I've got here as I can, and drop the details of where I got, some of my watercolor paints. I'll even, you know what, I'll even drop the link to the eBay shop where I got my Daniel Smith watercolors from. I know there's some, there is a little bit of trepidation with buying art supplies from like eBay and things like that because you don't know what you're gonna get, but I was happy enough with the set that I bought from this person, and it looks like that's their regular business, is selling art supplies. They have a lot of these Daniel Smith watercolors in these sets. I was happy enough to buy 2 more of them, so I will leave the link to their shop below if you guys want to check it out. And that is that's gonna be it for me and for this October haul. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, sub, hit the bell to get notified when I post additional content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.